Well, good morning, Blade fans and Karambit fans. Yes, it's morning when this is being recorded on the good old east coast of the U.S. This old sword with you. And we have an unusual knife today. Yes, it's a fixed blade, and yes, you could call it a karambit. But a karambit missing something that's usually there, notably the ring. So as you can see by the nice sticker that was provided by Toor knives in the box, this is a Toor knives made in San Diego, California, far as I know. USA made of CPM S35 VN. And a little note from their product page on this particular knife called the Karsumba. I don't know if that has a meaning. Haven't bothered looking it up. Maybe it's kind of a joining together of two different words. The Kar coming from Karambit, and Sumba, not sure. Sounds like a dance move. They say, we designed the Karsumba with traditional karambit knife features like a curved blade, but removed the ring in order to reduce its overall length, making it much easier to conceal. And yes, that's true. Precision ground of CPM S35VN steel. The Karsumba has a desirable toughness and edge retention Toor knives has become known for, and is strikingly lethal. Canvas micarta handle, Kydex Sheath, made in San Diego, etc., etc. So I'm going to give you the specs in a minute directly from their website rather than do it myself. Saves me a little bit of time. A few things I want to talk about. It's fairly a rough hewn knife with, I believe, a 3/16 inch stock on the steel. So it has a heft to it. Natural micarta handle in brown. Very nice. A few sharp edges. It's not really... It's giving me the impression right off, and these are the negatives, that it's not completely finished. I can see some machine marks there. I mean, not that this has to be designed to be a pretty knife, but you know, it's going for about $235 list. So you might figure that you'd get a little more finishing as you would on some other knives in that price category. Nonetheless, it's workable and usable. I just don't like that sharp shoulder that I feel definitely could have been chamfered. It has a lanyard hole. Ergonomically, it has a very nice palm swell, finger swell in the middle, which I like. It nestles right into the hand. My hands are like a medium large, and it just fits. Feels just a little snug on that index finger there, but the advantage is it locks in. You've got some nice jimping there with a pocket for the thumb. So in this position, fits quite well. In the point down, edge forward, traditional karambit position, let's back out a little, it is also quite comfortable, and your thumb locks in over that rounded pommel. Very solid, very comfortable here. I have no impressions that I'm going to lose the knife, although you don't have the ring. And maybe someone felt there was a need for a karambit style knife without a ring, because typically for those that use the karambit in martial arts, in combat, etc., they don't spin it really like, you know, you're spinning a bally song or anything from the ring. So it's mainly seen as a means of retention with the index finger or with the pinky if you're holding it point up. There's certainly enough edge there to be quite effective. With the thick stock, you have good thickness out to the point. See if I can get the light on that so you can see it. Yep. Pretty good thickness out to the point. So it's very piercy in this direction. The grind is quite nice. I don't see any real problems with that. Past few months or so, I've seen some people picking on Toor and criticizing their, I don't know if it's a manufacturer or some of their finishing work. So I can see here, and you can see the little fuzzies coming up from the micarta there, that perhaps this should have been chamfered over. And I wouldn't want to have to do that myself on a blade that's costing over $200. So those are the negatives. And there you can see some of the grind marks or cut marks. I don't know if they water jet this or how they cut it, but you can see that I think S35VN is really no longer a premium steel. You can argue with me on that. But it's pretty commonly used nowadays. Used to be, one of the super steels. Now we got S45VN. Certainly you've got S90V. You've got M390. You've got LMAX, etc. So still up in kind of the super steel category. Now they did some nice detail work here, giving a texture. Call it a texturing work to the handle on both sides. So you've got grippiness to it, and between the bird's beak style pommel and the index finger choil area and the thumb, it locks in really, really well. So if you're a tactical, military, law enforcement perhaps, someone who's going to carry this on a daily basis, you got S35VN. It's a stainless steel. It's black wash coated for low profile, not too shiny, and comes in, haven't shown you this yet, a Kydex sheath. It's actually quite well done. Got some tension right there. It's already grabbing the blade, and then it locks in quite nicely. Your tension is adjustable with that screw, which is a good thing. That's done on many holsters that are Kydex. It can be thumbed off and pulled out pretty easy, although I find I can't thumb it off and get the sheath to drop. It does not come with any mounting hardware, which is interesting, and others have mentioned that about Toor. They give you some options, a strap, maybe a tech lock, what have you. I've got plenty of that kind of stuff from other knives, so it's not really a problem if I end up hanging on to this. You could do a neck knife kind of thing, although it's kind of heavy for that. Certainly you've got these two holes here that you can loop paracord through, so no problem with that. As far as pocket carry goes, though, you may want to put like a static cord on your belt from that last one, so that when you thumb it off you can pull it right out and leave the sheath behind. Kydex seems to be quite nice, good thickness, and has a nice leather-like texture on the surface. Let me run you down some specs from the Toor website real quick. We have overall length 6.75 inches, blade length 2.5 inches, handle length 4.25 inches, canvas micarta handle, steel is CPM S35VN, blade thickness is 0.1875. It's hardened to a Rockwell of 59 to 61. and the weight is 6.5 ounces. Let's take a look at it alongside of some of the more traditional styled tantos. Boy, Karambits. Here is the Alien by Reich, an unusual one in itself. Here is the Tucson, and forgive me if I lost track of the number. I'm sure somebody will tell me. A very interesting bird's beak, toucan style Karambit with a ring. And these are nasty sharp. I've cut myself more than once on this particular model. Got one in S35VN, I got one in D2, which was the original one. And we've got another Toor, which is not a Karambit. This is the Jank Shank by Toor. Interestingly enough, this has a ring, designed as a last-ditch defensive item. Holds quite well for a straight blade with a ring because it's offset enough. Always careful putting knives back in their Kydex sheath. Sometimes you get it in the wrong way. Here we have the Poker by Tops, which is not a Karambit style blade, but a Karambit style handle with a straight blade that is a sheep's foot. So, yes, there's that variant. But as far as the Karsumba goes, I think it was a great design, great idea. It is compact. Fits in the hand quite well, but isn't overly long. Has enough of a blade for some very tactical delivery, shall we say. The only thing is, I think, and my criticism would be of this knife and perhaps some of the others which I don't have, that you can look them up from Toor, that are being put out there quite prominently these days and advertised, is that, and they have rings for a lot of their straight blades, is simply that I realize it's USA made and they're going to be a little pricier than Chinese made, overseas made blades, but it would be nice to see a little more finishing on these when they come out of the factory. Great design, usable design, tactical design in almost every way, other than knock down some of those sharp edges, provide a little more for the money perhaps. Maybe at the over $200 price point, you might look into a higher class of steel, maybe an LMAX, maybe an M390, I don't know. S35VN, certainly perfectly fine for all the intended purposes here. But there you go. That is the Karsumba by Toor Knives, USA made. Be well. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Catch you soon.